Hey everybody, Pat with Bird Brain Model Rails again. So today I'm doing some landscaping on my N-scale layout. Now you'll notice over here I have basically a mountainous range on one side of this track. So I've created that. The next thing I'm going to do is show you how I create it. So give me a minute to get set up with everything that we need, which I'll cover in just a minute. Bear with me. Okay, so I have all my materials ready, and that being said, they are a roll of plaster cloth. Now this is 4 inches wide by 15 feet long, and this will cover all of this through here without a problem. And you'll notice I'm using Woodland Scenics inclines. You can tell by the cutouts in the foam that help me make this curve as I go through here. I also need a pair of scissors, and it doesn't matter what, as long as they're sharp, it doesn't matter. I also have a pan of water in here. This pan of water is for the plaster cloth, and you'll understand why in shortly here. I also have newspaper, and guys, my wife brings newspaper home from work for free, so that I don't have to spend 50 cents a copy. I also need masking tape. Doesn't matter what color, it all works. All right, so let's start with how I start shaping all of this through here. And my big thing, I see a lot of guys go out and they buy the cardboard strips. Why? First of all, we all get shipments in cardboard boxes. You can cut your own strips. Why pay for it? So, but again, I don't use those at all. This table is strong enough for me to, I weigh 250 pounds. This table is strong enough for me to stand on. But I don't want to do that because I don't want to dig into this foam top here. So let's go back to landscaping for a minute because I kind of got on my soapbox. So to start, I just start with some paper, some newspaper over here. And what I do is I take some tape, and some of this may be off camera, but you'll see it as I come around. So, and it doesn't have to be perfect, guys. It really doesn't. I'll put some tape here on this side and kind of come in over here. Bear with me a second. I'll get to the camera, I promise. So let me make some tape down here and just kind of create a little bit of character here. Now, the newspaper form is going to be ugly. That's not a problem because your plaster cloth, once you apply that, will create beautiful shapes, which I've learned from doing this. So there, and that tape gives me kind of the cardboard effect without the cardboard. And understand, this side's already done. This side does not have to match this side because we've cut through a mountain in prototypical real life creation. So let's grab some more newspaper and I'll come around with it. And all I do is I just grab a piece and I'll just strip it, make a form, throw it in. It's gonna sit there. I'll let it pop up. That's okay. I'll grab some tape and I'll come through here. I'll just tape it down a little bit. Don't take much. And understand, when I'm done, I may have some tape showing through when I'm done. That's not a problem either. However, again, the plaster cloth will hide so much of this and give you a real life form. So let's do another piece. Let's just throw one like right here. And that'll give us a little bit of a gap here. So let's throw some more down there as I work around the table. And again, guys, you heard me mention earlier that I'm doing an N scale layout at this point. This works on any scale you want to do, whether it's N, HO, S, O, G scale, whatever you want. You're not limited on what you can do with anything. It's just a cheap, inexpensive way to create some stuff on your layout. So there's that. Now, let me try to work around here. Grab some more newspaper. I'm going to come over here. And I'm hoping most of this is on camera, because I'm on my tripod. So we're going to come over here and do this. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to scrunch this down a little bit. You know, and ideally, with what I do, it's kind of a paper mache effect without the true paper mache. It's just newspaper and plaster cloth is all it is. So we got that down here, down here. All right, I'll come over here and do this section like so. You get that. All right, you come on. Let's get this like so. And again, that tape is going to stick out. That's fine. I'm not worried about that, because, and you'll see that shortly as to why. Now, the one thing I want to do at this point is take this track and move it out of the way, like so. That way, everything will kind of come into play. Now, where that tape keeps popping up, see those pins right there? I can come right in here and poke that in, because it is out of my way, and just run right down flush. That'll help alleviate some of that tension on the tape. I'll do another one over here, because my track is going to run about center of all of this. So again, it won't be an issue. All right, now I need a little more tape on this end. Now all I'm going to do is just run it right through here, like so. There. Okay. Now, I forgot to mention, we're also going to need a paintbrush. And I use something a little bit, just doesn't need to be real wide or real drastic. Just something I can dip in the water, and I'll show you why in a minute. So I've got my basic form for my newspaper in place. Let me add a couple more pins there to fix that. So let me come over here and do this right here, number one. Go right there with it. Get it right down there flush into that foam. Okay. And we'll do another one right here on the end where that bridge is going to come across, because I want to make sure that everything is level when I put that back in and set the bridge in place. So put that right there. That'll work. Okay. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our scissors and our plaster cloth. I'm going to measure out by about the length of my pan. And I'm going to cut this and run it through this water right here. I'm just going to do that, just to get it wet. Then I'm going to come over here with it, right on top of that, and just lay it over. I'm going to grab, and I'm going to overlap that. So here, so. Again, through the water, like so. And I use warm water, not hot, but warm. Like come right over the top of that, like so. Right in there, and just lay it on there. You'll understand how this works in a minute. I'm adding multiple layers to create a more realistic form. So bear with me. You get this in here. Like so. There. Right there. Okay, now. I don't know if you can see this on camera. I'm going to dip this brush in here and get it wet. And I'm going to come in here and brush that plaster cloth. What it's going to do is it's going to spread the plaster that's in that weave, which will give me a harder finish. It won't be perfect, but it will be lifelike. So when I'm done with all this, I will come back with some plaster of Paris and thinned out real well so I can brush it in and give this a nice hard finish. Now right over here you can't see on camera, I've got a gap, so I'm going to cut another piece for that. Like about that much, like so. Get my fat fingers out of it. Come in here and lay that right in there, like so. And then again, I'm going to use my brush and brush that plaster through that cloth to help give it a harder finish as it dries, which is what it does. Because it literally, you know, the plaster cloth has it's a webbed, like cheesecloth, so to speak, with plaster in it. So once you wet it and bring it through there, it's going to give you a nice lifelike effect, is what it's going to do. So let me work my way around. We can see it on camera. All right, again, through our water, like so, up, and just literally bring it over. And I start at the top. And I'll add another one. Like so. Remember, I said, it doesn't have to be perfect. You're building basically a lifelike scene, okay? And there's nothing exact about lifelike when you're doing this. You just let it flow the way it wants to, and it creates natural character lines, is what it does. So let's brush that, that, that. And you can see on camera how that plaster kind of smooths out and fills in those gaps in that cloth to give it a better finish. All right, so now let me come over here where you've got a better view of that camera. Let me cut some more cloth. And again, I'm just gonna run it through the water right here, down and up, and right up and over the top, like so. And then you can see right here, I've got to add another layer, which that's part of what we do. So we'll cut another one. And I also overlap on my last piece, like over here and over here. So in the water, in here, and I don't over press that plaster. I just let it kind of work itself. Then of course I wet my brush again. You just kind of brush that in, And the nice thing about this, it's kind of like a paper mache, guys. Back when we were in school, some of those of us that are old enough remember paper mache with with newspaper and paste. Well, this is newspaper and plastic cloth and water, so it's pretty much the same principle. And you see how that fills in, eliminates those holes in that. There. And I'll rinse that off. Okay. I'll come over here and add some more as I work around it. And again, gentlemen, this is not how it should be done forever. This is how I do it. It's a way of doing it and saving money at the same time is all that I'm trying to show you. So that's down there. We'll add a second layer to that for the lower end. There we go. Run it through the water. And bottom section. So there's that, and it's up over the top as well. And then again, wet my brush and brush it through there. I'm not worried about perfection. There's no such thing. So I can come in here, fix all this, like so. Over the top, and in, back and forth, to float that. And of course, the biggest reason I took my track out of there is because I've already cut wide enough to lay that track back in there when I'm done. And I'm not getting plaster all over my track. Because that takes hours of cleaning to make your train run. Another section, like so. Over here. Run that through that water, like so. Okay. Come over here, like so. That. Okay. Let's run another one just to be safe. Like so. And you can tell that with a 15-foot roll, even though it's 4 inches wide, you get a lot of coverage out of this. You really do. Up there, like so. Wet that brush and bring that in. Like so. And it creates its own form. Now suddenly you can see those hills and slash cliff sides come to life, which is what we're attempting to achieve. There, okay. A little bit more on this end right here. For that, I'll turn that so you can see a little better. Come over here. Okay, can you see over here? I hope. So, let's do this. Run it through. There we go. Bring it up to that top section and over. Right there. And that one, I think, covered the whole thing. So we're going to come in here and brush that in, like so. Use that plaster to run and cover those holes in that webbing. It's part of that cloth. Which, again, like I said, is like a partial cheesecloth. And that's fine, But the cool part is now suddenly we went from newspaper, and again, you'll notice, they're not the same on either side. There are differences. So, at some point in real life, they cut into this mountain to create this track. So now, after the newspaper, we've laid our plaster cloth. When that dries, we have a more realistic view of what's going on. And I will be doing more videos on this section of the layout soon. So guys, hit that like and subscribe button. I hope this was helpful. If it was, tell me. Y'all have a great day and God bless. Thank you.